Ridden by 24-year-old French native Julien Laperoux, his first Preakness. This colt 3 wins and 8 starts, including the Derby trial in his last race. Number 2, Tres BORRACHOS. 3 drunks in Spanish. Infer what you will from the 3-man ownership group, including trainer Bo Greeley. Tyler BAZE rides his first Preakness on this gelding, who was 3rd in the Arkansas Derby. Number 3 is ICABAD Crane. Jockey Jeremy Rose, as we mentioned earlier, won that 2005 Preakness on a fleet, Alex. ICABAD Crane just vanned in from Fair Hill, Maryland this morning, about an hour trip, and he does have a win over this track in the Tessio Stakes. Number 4, Yankee Bravo. 22 years ago, Alex Solis won the Preakness aboard Snow Chief. Yankee Bravo began his career in England. He's also raced in Northern California, Louisiana, and Southern California, where he was 4th in the Santa Anita Derby 42 days ago. Number 5 behind at the bar was scratched. Number 6 is RACECAR RHAPSODY. Robbie Alvarado tries to become the first back-to-back Preakness winner since Pat Day won 3 straight from 94 to 96. Co-owner Jerry Carroll also owns Kentucky Motor Speedway, hence the name. The colt 4th in the Lexington has never been worse than 4th. 7 is Big Brown. Could be the 4th horse to win the Preakness while undefeated. And it's a homecoming for Kent DeSormo, who won 5 riding titles and an Eclipse Award while riding in Maryland. And for Rick Dutrow, born in Hagerstown, he attended high school in Howard County, Maryland. Big Brown 4 for 4 by a combined 34 lengths. Number 8 is Kentucky Bear, trained by Canadian Reed Baker, who says his colt gained 75 pounds in Kentucky, eating grass like a lawnmower. He's raced only 3 times, most recently a 3rd in the Bluegrass Stakes after a rough trip. Number 9 is STEVIL. Nick Zito ties Max Hirsch with his 19th Preakness starter. That's 2nd all-time behind Wayne Lucas. Zito won with Louis Quatorze in 1996. He's in the Hall of Fame, and so Sunday will be John Velasquez, who was 5th in his only previous Preakness. STEVIL finished 4th in the Bluegrass. 10 is Riley Tucker. Hall of Fame trainer Bill Mott returns to the Preakness for the first time in 24 years with a colt named for his son. Edgar Prado, a former Maryland riding star, voted into the Hall of Fame this year. Riley Tucker 3rd in the Lexington. Number 11 is Giant Moon. Jockey Ramon Dominguez won 2 riding titles at Pimlico in 2001. This is a stakes-winning New York bred. Trainer Richard Schosberg says his colt needs time between races. It's been 6 weeks since he ran 4th in the Wood Memorial. Number 12, Gallego, the only Derby runner to challenge Big Brown, and named for natives of a region in northern Spain where one of the owners, Jose Prieto, went after spending 5 years as a political prisoner in Cuba. Before that 17th in Louisville, Gallego won the Arkansas Derby. And 13 is Hayburn. This is the 2nd Preakness for jockey Chucky Lopez, who has ridden more than 3,000 winners. Hayburn took the Holy Bull Stakes, entered in the Kentucky Derby, but was excluded for insufficient graded earnings. Here he is in the Preakness. And those are the horses for the 133rd running of the Preakness Stakes. For the call of the 133rd Preakness Stakes, let's go to Tom Durkin.
And there he is, the story. Big Brown, 1-5 as he takes his position in starting gate number 7. On the outside, it's Hayburn, ready for the start of the 133rd Preakness Stakes. And they're off. And Big Brown got off to a good start. So did Macho again down toward the inside. Big Brown forwardly placed. Macho again is there. On the far outside, here's Riley Tucker. And Riley Tucker's going to be the early leader. Hayburn with some early speed today. And Gallego, he's way out there. Big Brown has been guided to the rail. He's running along in 4th now. Then STEVIL 5th. Giant Moon 6th on the outside. Macho again broke well, but he's now back running in 7th. Kentucky Bear is 8th on the outside. RACECAR RHAPSODY is 9th toward the rail. And that's ICABAD Crane 10th down toward the inside, followed by Yankee Bravo. And the last of them all is Tres BORRACHOS. It's a very unusual spot for him. He's usually in the front at this point. The opening quarter goes 23 2/5 seconds as they whip around that first turn here at Pimlico and move down the backstretch. The half was a sensible 46 4, and so it's Gallego on top. Riley Tucker runs along in 2nd, and Big Brown, he's just loping along now. 3rd as they approach that half-mile pole. Hayburn runs along now in 4th, and down toward the inside, STEVIL is 5th. Room at the rail for Kentucky Bear, and he moves now. A decisive move for Kentucky Bear going into the far turn. And Giant Moon around the far turn they go. 3/4 up in 1, 10 and 2. And Big Brown looms on the outside as they round the far turn. Riley Tucker has come away with a narrow lead. Gallego fights on. Big Brown right there on the outside. Just in behind them, Kentucky Bear down toward the inside. RACECAR, Rhapsody, and BYRN, and they turn for home in the Preakness. And Big Brown has seized the lead, and he is pulling away. Big Brown's doing it again. He is disappearing from the field. He's in front by 5. And then it's RACECAR, Rhapsody, and on the outside, MACHO again, and just cruising over the line. Kent DeSorbo looked in the rearview mirror. Nobody was there. He waltzes home to win the Preakness. No one's ever been close to Big Brown. MACHO again finished in second. ICABAD Crane was third. So there he is, Big Brown, and it's now on to Belmont and the elusive Triple Crown.
And maybe not too elusive for him, because this was the easiest of victories. You could tell, because Kent DeSorbo, for half the race, was looking for somebody to challenge him, and no one was there. And remember, they said, thinking about the Belmont 3 weeks from today, they didn't want him to do too much, didn't want to take too much out of him. He just galloped. Look at the way he's pricking his ears still. He's still fresh.
Tommy ran for 3/16 of a mile. That was it. Kent DeSorbo rode a brilliant race, but this horse allowed him to ride a brilliant race. You can't do that with your average horse. He switched this horse off 3 different times. It was like he was driving a race car instead of riding a race horse. Just on and off the bridle, moved when he wanted to. The race was over with. When they turned into the backside, it was done.
Yeah, a lot of horsepower.